chat? Welcome to the building. Listen, come in the room, tap those hearts. Come in the room and tap those hearts. This is Dr. Cheapest Sunflower. Back with another video. Another live. Checking on the tribe. OCO to my knee. Yes. OCO, my knee. OCO, as you can see from the title of the live, tonight we coming from a more, optimistic, positive perspective. We are talking about unapologetic growth. You know what I'm talking about? Like, just growing without any care in the world. Paying attention to your self-love and your self-care. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for tapping those hearts. Yes. So before we even start today, let's take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, because evolving doesn't happen loud at first. Manifestation doesn't really scream. It's something that you gotta really feel in your spirit. Growth often whispers until one day it's so loud that it feels like it just roars, like you just can't even go a day without feeling greatness in your heart, positivity in your spirit, nothing but good energy, good vibes. Today I cried a little. I was just sitting and I was thinking about my grandma. It just hit me like, I was like, dang. She inspired me so much to the point where I'm so motivated. Even on my darkest days, I'm so motivated to get back up, to keep trying, to show up. A lot of times I don't really be feeling like going live every single day, but I'm trying to prove something to myself because I know that consistency is something that it's a lot harder than what people think it is. When you're consistent, you see people show up for themselves. You see people standing in the pain, standing on business. You think that it's easy. But I'm here to tell you that it's not easy. That's why we must evolve and manifest every single day. I see y'all tapping in on TikTok. We met our goal already, 1K. Y'all showing out. Let me know where you watching from. Thank you, Golden Goddess, for liking the live. I really appreciate you. Love loves me. What's going on? Just got that number to get their badge. Trey 2205 got that number 1. Number 6 fan club and a heart me. Somebody said something crazy, but So welcome in this space. This Hood to Hooded podcast is about positivity, inspiration, and knowledge to keep us motivated and growing. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. I really have been slacking on my live time. It's supposed to be in the morning, but lately I've been like in this I don't know, I'm evolving, I'm in the growing, I'm becoming, so I really got to lock in on a time, but I just have to just show up. I try not to put too much pressure on going live because it's not the most serious thing in life, but at the same time, I still got to show up, so thank y'all for being in the building tonight. So we are done shrinking, guys. We are done carrying the lies that don't advance us. Tonight isn't about a hype. It's about aligning yourself for the next season, right? So if you here, it's because something in you is waking up. And once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. So if you showed up for yourself today, I want you to type in the chat, I'm here. I'm here. I showed up for myself today. Even if you had an easy like day like me, I just relaxed all day. Um, I made these like strawberry cheesecake brown. No, what is this? Strawberry cheesecake bars. This is so good. I've been in my baking season. I don't know why, but so good. Right. So I haven't been really taking life too serious lately. I've been having a lot of grace with myself, with my life, like just settling in more to showing up. Because when you start to put too much perfection on what you're doing, you won't really show up, because now you have all these standards and, you know. So I just say, you know what, I'm going to take it easy. So if you hear, it's because you got a message and you are ready to evolve. See, me, I just been thinking about not really having any resolution, but just, I made a lot of mistakes this year. I feel like this year was really tough. I know not just for me, but for a lot of people, because we keep saying, okay, this my year, this my year. And if it was your year, man, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Sending nothing but good vibes your way. But if it wasn't your year completely, like this year, it was like a roller coaster. A lot of growing, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom that I got to take with me in the next season. So I feel like in the next season, I'm more prepared. I'm ready to grow. Ready to learn from the mistakes. Connect more. You know, some of us lost people this year. I know I lost 2 very close people to me this year. I wish you and your family an extra blessed year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Likewise. I wish all of us very blessed, prosperous, season ahead. And I'm taking it easy with myself. I'm not doing too much. 3.3K on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. Okay, so what does it mean to evolve daily, guys? Let's get into the meat and potatoes. What does it mean to evolve every single day? I learned a good lesson this year. My wife don't be any happier spending 8K a month versus 4K a month. What? She don't be no happier whether it's 8K or 4K. You know, we can spend some money. She mad either way. Dang. Well, then it ain't about the money. Then it's something else. A lot of people think money brings happiness, but sometimes it's other things that's missing, that's lacking. It's not always about the money. Even though money is supposed to make it easier, but yeah, she don't like my old ass self. I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh with you. I'm laughing with you because you said it. She don't like your old ass self. Dang, why you call yourself old? Man, I'm listening. Forever young. I wanna be forever young. Not, mentally, but physically. She's 25 and I'm 31. LOL, I'm like a grandpa. Well, dang, if you grandpa, that means I'm like great-great-grandma then, because what? When did 31 become old? Like, stop. You being too hard on yourself. Loving those glasses. Thank you to PD1. Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. I don't know why people think 30 is the new 60, because it's not. Listen, when I was 30, I was just graduating dental school. Life was a mess, crazy. I was thinking that, oh my God, this is the beginning of being old, but it wasn't. And now, as I enter a whole new decade, I'm truly feeling like, dang, I'm getting older. But what comes with that is the wisdom. What you're learning about relationships is that they're hard sometimes when you're younger. you know? So maybe she's younger, she's 25, and she feels like money is, you know. Where did I get these glasses? I got these from TikTok Shop. I don't know if I tagged these, but I got this hat from TikTok Shop. It's like little glasses, TikTok Shop, hoodie, hood to hooded shop. But yeah, so that's exactly what we're talking about now. Relationships take a lot of patience. You really have to be friends. Money can't make you be friends. It has to be a friendship, honestly, first. Love, friendship, where you can talk, when you connected, like you a unit. But even still, when you're in a younger relationship, you don't really know as much as you are going to know about life yet. I can say that much. So you can, I don't know. You just know in your spirit when it aligns. And you know in your spirit when it's like, dang, like what you said, she don't like my old ass. It's like, dang, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but money ain't gonna make her like you. She gotta like you naturally, She has to be like, oh, I love him. Period. It's just that simple. Nothing more, nothing less. Anywho, what does it mean to evolve daily? Evolving daily doesn't mean becoming perfect. And that's the key. That's really it right there. It doesn't mean being perfect at all. That's why I've been able to show up live consistently, more consistently than in the past, because I stopped trying to be perfect. The fact that you're consistent at all, that's already perfection in itself. That's it. It means becoming honest with yourself, being aware of your weaknesses and your strengths, and not being afraid of your weaknesses. Some people are so afraid of the things that they don't have, and they feel like, okay, I'll move when I get this, or everything becomes perfect. No. That's not how it works. When you want to go from hood to hooded, you gotta move daily. And sometimes the movement means, like, even if it's just like realizing that maybe you're burnt out and maybe you gotta take this day to be peaceful. You gotta have balance. So it just means evolving every day and knowing what evolving means. It doesn't mean being perfect. When you start to feel like you want to be perfect, this is when you can get in your head. You start to get a little self-doubt. You start to worry too much. You get too much anxiety. You're just doing too much, for real. You got to be honest about what no longer fits in your life, whether that's a person, place, or a thing. That's what evolving means. You can't stay attached to the same old things and people if they're not helping you evolve. You got to evolve every single day and use your discernment. Use manifestation to help you get to the next level. Be honest about what the hell is draining you. Whatever drained us in this season, we don't take it into next season. I realized it was a lot of stuff this year that was so draining, and I had to spend a little time to say, you know what? I have to eliminate this draining ass issue in my life. Regardless of how much I want to fit it into the puzzle, the shit ain't fitting. It ain't fitting. Why am I trying to make something fit in my life when it's draining the hell out of me? Just let it go. Just let it go. You don't have to hold on to that at all. Whatever it is, don't hold on to it. If it's a job, don't hold on to it. It's time for you to step into the next level. It's too much opportunity out here. You too intelligent. You too creative. You got so much greatness in you that you hide from the world. You hide from yourself. Because why? Perfection. I already know what it is. You want to be perfect when you start. That don't exist. I'm here to tell you it don't exist. Starting a dental practice almost 4 years ago, we wanted to be perfect, but I have to tell you it was so imperfect. But some kind of way you find the perfect wisdom, the perfect knowledge through that experience, through that journey. You'd be like, I didn't even know I could know these things. I didn't even know I had so much strength inside of me because I was unafraid to start. I was unapologetic. I didn't listen to people who said, don't do it yet because it's not perfect yet. Don't start until it's perfect. Sometimes perfection don't exist when you come from the hood, when you come from poverty, when you come from being in situations where people thought that you would be a statistic. They counted you out. The perfect setup might not ever be there. The perfect opportunity that you think that you need, it may not ever come. Sometimes you got to take the opportunity that's presented to you and be the alchemist of your life. Use what was given to evolve. Start where you are. You don't have to start where someone else is or what you see this. No, it's all about you and using what you have. And each one of us has a special gift, but we have to be honest about what drains that gift, what hides that gift, what gives us anxiety about that gift. What lies were you told and handed and told to carry like the truth? Evolution is not, completely about the glow up. It's also about shedding old shit. Can we be honest? Sometimes you gotta shed the old shit. Seriously. Like, you gotta shed it. How else do we grow? Tribe, how else do we grow if we don't evolve? If we don't read? If we don't force ourselves with intent to say, you know what? This ain't working. I gotta simplify this, or this is working and I gotta do this more. I gotta double down on this because this is working in my life, or this ain't working in my life. What am I doing? You wasting your time. You're going nowhere fast because you're not focused on your purpose. But if you focus on your purpose, I need you to double down on that. I need you to do it unapologetically this season. I don't need you to hide whatever that look like for you. We're talking about unapologetic growth. Some people ain't gonna understand it. They may not understand what the hard work look like, but the ancestors are talking. The ancestors expect greatness out of you. Okay? They don't expect you to continue following pseudo history, a pseudo mindset, colonization, not knowing who you are, not being proud of who you are. We got to shed some beliefs, shed the distractions, shed the need to explain yourself to people who benefit from you staying small. You want to explain yourself to these people, you don't got to explain yourself to nobody. I don't have to explain my sovereignty. I don't have to explain my history. I don't. Definitely don't. You don't. So in this next season, we shed those, things that weigh us down every single day. No explanations involved. That's what it means, really, to be unapologetic. What does that word really mean? It sounds just like what it means. I'm not apologizing for my growth. Not doing it. Because you don't know what it takes to get to a level of growth. People don't know what you've been through. They don't know what it takes. Okay? So if you're not uncomfortable sometimes, guess what? You probably not evolving. Maybe you are, I don't know. But normally when you evolve, it takes some level of uncomfortability. You're going to be uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes you can't even figure it out. You can't really see every path. But all you know is that you have a purpose. You got good intention. And you're not going to quit. But if you get uncomfortable sometimes, guess what? You're evolving. That's all that means. That's exactly what that means. You are evolving. And some people get afraid to evolve. We can't be afraid of things like that. It's more things to focus on. You know, stress kills. Being afraid to evolve can ruin your life. It leave you with a lot of regrets because you're scared to take it to the next level. You scared to really be the greatness that you already are because something inside of you is locked and your mind ain't moving. And I don't know. I have the same issue sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, dang, I'm not really pushing myself like I should be. I could push myself a little bit harder. Or maybe I'm focusing on the wrong thing sometimes, you know. So we have to evolve. So what about eliminating the pseudo mindset, right? Because as we go into this next season, it's a lot of history floating around. It's a lot of terms floating around. The best advice I can give us is to focus on you. Focus on your ancestry. But if you don't do the work, then you will never know. You'll just listen to everybody. You're not really dialed in. But when you start to read, do the work, pay attention. Not just ignore it, not just turn it off, but pay attention. Don't pay ignorance, pay attention. That's how you eliminate the pseudo mindset. A pseudo mindset is borrowed thinking. This means somebody told you to think this way. It means somebody colonized you to think the way they want you to think so that they can oppress you and benefit off your ignorance. That's what a pseudo mindset leads to. Ignorant thinking. When it comes to your past, when it comes to your ancestors, when it comes to who you truly are, when it comes to you even caring about it. That's how deep it goes. Some people just don't even care. They just like, I don't got time to think about that. I was one of those people too, so I'm talking to myself in the past as well. Right? Pseudo history is secondhand beliefs. History filtered through someone else's eyes and then handed to you as a fact. Not in a way where it empowers you, in a way to disenfranchise you. In a way that makes you feel like I don't care about who I am because you told me who I am and I believe you. And me knowing who I am for my own self and actually going to fact check what you told me, I don't really care about because I'm distracted. And I like the default mechanism. I like the default identity. I don't care to go and read at all. Okay? You didn't come into this world confused. Confusion was taught to us. It was taught through school. It was taught through the media. It was taught through silence. You know, through shame around ancestry and our origin. What else does a pseudo mindset tell us, tribe? A pseudo mindset doesn't question history. Does this sound like some of the people we might know that don't question history? They just accept it. They don't look too deep. I don't want to be too deep. Listen, I need to go deep. I'm a deep thinker. That's what it means to be a deep thinker. You want to know more. You want to Ask questions. You're not afraid to debate. Take it there. Question things. A deep thinker says, don't ask who it benefits. Don't ask who the knowledge benefits. A pseudo-mindset, it doesn't want you to ask those questions. It doesn't want you to trust your own intuition about life. But real growth starts when you say to yourself, hold up, something don't sit right with me. Let me go do a little investigation. And that is the moment where evolution and evolving takes place. When you say, hey, hold on, something is not right. Okay? So caring about history, caring about our ancestors, that's why they say we are our ancestors' wildest dreams, because we never gave up. See, history really counted a lot of us out. Stereotypes, colonization, police brutality, all these things tied to history. So we might be mad about different things on different spectrums, but it all tied to the same seed that was planted long ago, something our ancestors battled long ago. So it's not about living in the past or any of that. That's how we understand the present and the future. It's about understanding the present. So when you don't know where you come from and someone else gets to tell you who you are, that's a danger zone. That's why history is not just about dates. It's about programming. To know who was erased, who was renamed, who was reclassified, who was made invisible, who was oppressed so other people could feel superior, right? So we don't study history to be angry or mad or hateful. We study history actually to be free. And that's the aha moment. You study history to be free. Because I promise you, reading costs you really nothing. But it's the way to freedom. Knowledge. When I was in elementary school at Sable Palm Elementary in Tallahassee, Florida, home of the Appalachian, the Seminoles, right? We used to sing this song. I think it might have been 4th or 5th grade. It said, knowledge is power. I know what I know. Hey, the more you learn, the further you'll go. If you get an education, you'll be taking a stand. Because knowledge, is power. Yeah, grab it while you can. It stuck with me. I'm this little poor ass little kid. Don't get to see my mama or daddy on the regular. Just feeling like life been unfair, but it's certain little messages life can serve you. Even as a little kid, I learned, dang, knowledge is power. Let me try to get me some knowledge, since that's the power, right? And that don't just stop when you young, when you graduate high school. Knowledge is forever. You're supposed to always try to learn, get better, whether that's personal development, or you trying to learn more about how to enhance your character or your mood, whether that's mental development. And that's one people don't really talk about. Tips and tricks to help you stabilize your mood so that you don't get weighed down with depression or worried about what people saying or outside noise or anxiety, whether that's like physical enhancements where you working out more, eating healthier, learning about your diet, what makes your body feel better, what makes your, you know what I mean? It's so many levels that you could be growing on every single day, whether that's even learning how to have peace. Some people stop learning how to have peace. You don't know what tools bring peace. Yoga, meditation, sometimes sitting in quiet. Sometimes when your phone dies, let it stay dead so you can stop the strolling attack, where you just stroll for hours. Before you know it, 3 hours, you haven't been productive. You haven't showed up for yourself. You haven't been consistent. You didn't study like you said you was gonna study. You said you was gonna study for that test, but you ain't been studying. You've been strolling, and now you got to push your test back because you've been strolling too much. So this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes those distractions, that pseudo history, that strolling, just being all over everybody, energy all over, you can't even focus on you truly from the inside out. You can't even sit down and read because the attention span is gone. And it's something they don't talk about, the 3-second attention span. Most people have a 3-second. They wouldn't even be able to sit through a live like this because I only got 3 seconds, Dr. Sean. They're like, you ain't said shit yet. I don't have time to sit and listen. That's just how it is now. It's the 3 seconds. Back when we were studying, and I don't miss it at all. Please don't get it twisted. I don't miss studying. I don't miss studying, okay? Like, I studied enough for 5,000. No more studying. Well, I'm talking about dental school level studying. This is studying all day and night and weekend, and just like every day is eat, breathe, study. Eat, sleep, breathe, study. That's how it is. But, just studying about life and positive energy and who you are and self-care and just yoga. These are things we can actively do, including myself, to help us get out of negative spaces, face whatever times we having. But in this next season, y'all, I'm for real. I said this was my year. And I said 2025 played right in my face, man. 2025 played right in my face. But I'm proud of myself because I've been live. I've been showing up more, been more consistent, been more proactive. Like, a lot of greatness came out of this time. So this year, it might have been tough for a lot of us in more ways, one or another. But we all made it to this point where we did not quit. Some people quit. Some people say, you know what? It's too much. I'm done. We lost good people this year. Like I said, I lost two very close people who definitely impacted who Dr. Sean is. Whether that was through laughter, my friend T-Mac, like, she could have been a comedian, man. Like, she's just naturally funny. Like, my sister who left me, my goddaughter, like my sister Angie B. That was a tough one right there. So this year we lost very good people. People we love, some people who just left us nothing but good memories, and we got to go into this next season and be strong for all of our ancestors, the people who gone before us. You can't hold your head down. You can't get sad about nothing right now. They need you to be strong. That's the one thing I learned a long time ago about losing my mom at such a young age is, even with grief, you got to learn how to evolve when it comes to grieving people. I know that sounds crazy, but, you just got to learn how to evolve where you don't let it take you out, because losing certain people can completely wipe out your energy, wipe you out, like have you feeling like, what is life is about without this person? But if you find the strength to keep going on and use their memory, use what they left behind, and take it as wisdom, watch how you grow. Okay? So that's why we have to continue to evolve, continue to learn the history, continue to keep our ancestors, hard work, their names alive, because every day colonization is not a joke. People don't like to talk about it. They think it's, why are we talking about it? Why we care so much? Because they're serious about it. They write about it. They sign documents about it. They talk about it. They enforce it. Come on, man. But why? No, it's serious. The prison to pipeline is serious. It's serious. It's serious. So we can't just ignore it. So that's why this next season, y'all, for real, I'm serious. Being unapologetic is a non-negotiable. For the Hood to Hood tribe, you being unapologetic with your time and your life is non-negotiable. It doesn't mean being rude, loud, or reckless. That's not what it means. What does being unapologetic mean? Somebody put it in the chat. Y'all tapping those hearts. We up to 10.1K hearts. Oh my God, TikTok, y'all showing out. 10.1K. Wow. What does being unapologetic mean? Anybody know? Somebody put it in the chat. I'm gonna tell you in a second, but just think about it as I eat on this shrimp and crab ball that we made. It's so good. Unapologetic. What does it mean? It means no longer explaining your piece. No. You no longer explain your piece. You no longer shrinking to be digestible. You are who you are. You no longer negotiating your boundaries with people. People will have you all twisted up and they don't know who you are. We not negotiating our boundaries no more. This is my boundary. You either respect it or you get the own. Right? You don't owe everybody access to you, and that's something I realized. I don't owe everybody access to me in the next season. You know, I'm eliminating access. You know, you don't owe everybody clarity. You don't have to explain what you're doing. Just move. You don't owe everybody a seat at the table. You don't. You really don't. Some people only liked you when you was tired, when you was confused, when you was easy to control. That's the only time they liked you, when they could use you. That's the only time they liked you. You know. But they gotta miss that version of you today. Why? Because you moving unapologetically. You moving with peace, with intention. And anything in your life that don't belong there, that make you feel down about yourself, that make you feel weak, that drain you, has to go. It gotta go. But what do you do with this newfound time? What do you do with this newfound, positivity? Because that's what we go into the next season with. All these resolutions. Listen, we're going into the next season with optimistic energy. We're going into the next season being unapologetic. This means you're showing up. You listen. Let's go. Let's go. You showing up like, let's go. I'm ready. I learned so much. Oh, that didn't break me. Oh, nothing really can't break me then. Cause I thought that. Oh, that didn't break me. Oh, listen. I might actually be unbreakable. I actually might be unbreakable. One of the strongest. Right? So that's why in this next season, tribe, I encourage us to read more. Think a little bit deeper when it comes to yourself and your purpose. Think of just a little bit deeper. I didn't say go so deep where you're trying to be perfect. I'm just saying read more. Think deeper. Reading is rebellion in a distracted world. When is the last time you sat down and actually read something and just got away from the world and did it with intention? You know, every book that you read on something that you like sharpens your discernment. It teaches you something new. It expands your language. It strengthens your intuition. It does so much. Reading slows your mind down enough so you can hear your own thoughts again, right? Thank you for liking the live. Love loves me. And everybody else who is tapping in, tapping those hearts, I really appreciate it. Okay? So let's be real, guys. Strolling all day is never going to make you super wise unless you tailor your timeline to have nothing but positivity on it. But you already know they're going to always slip some drama in between. But, you know, reading just slows your mind down a little bit enough for us to think and get outside of this crazy world and kind of fight back against the 3-second attention span. Letting your phone die and just putting it down for a second and just getting out of the internet space is kind of like mental medicine in my eyes, or in my opinion I should say, right? So in the past, in the land of Niji, Turtle Island, there was a time when, you know, my ancestors, they were banned from reading. Now we got to think about, why would society ban a certain people from reading or writing or being creative? You know, why? Because when you read, it allows you to think a little bit deeper than you ever thought before. Okay? So read the history they told you not to read. I think you'll find it quite intriguing. I find it quite intriguing. I'm a new historian. I call myself, you know, a new historian or whatever. You know, whatever. Something like that. A new historian, but I fell in love with history because it helps me understand who I am, who the people who try to oppress me are, and the tools that they have in their toolkit. So now I know, oh, that's how you plan. Oh, you want to break my spirit? Oh, okay. Didn't happen. Captain. It didn't happen, Captain. We still rising. What Maya Angelou said, still I rise. Okay? Still rising. Clock that T. So you read perspectives that challenge you. Don't just sit and just read some things that challenge you, like, oh, I didn't know that. I love reading things that kind of challenge my mind. And in the day of AI, you know, AI is unavoidable. AI is everywhere. AI is changing everything. So use AI as a tool. Like, in my opinion, AI makes people read a little bit more faster because you can get the information so fast. So I find myself reading a lot on AI, just like reading the information and the questions that I'm asking. But read about things that challenge your perspective. Don't be afraid of things changing, because they changing whether you like it or not. They changing rapidly. Try to read slowly, like, so you can really understand it. And then another thing, read with intention. Don't go find a book that you don't really like because you're not going to finish it. Find something that you really, really like. There's books on cleaning. There's books on organization, time, history. It could be an ebook, a digital book. It don't have to be a physical book. You can go to Amazon. You can get books from Goodwill. They can be really cheap. Like, don't go crazy if you want to read on your tablet, but just read something that kind of fuels your soul in the new year. That's not a resolution. That should just be like, you know, I don't know. Because it's the reason why it was banned. That's all I'm saying. Golden Goddess, thank you for liking the live. Right? And you don't need to read everything. Some of us all gotta try to read this. No, don't try to read everything. Just read something that feeds you, that doesn't drain you. The stuff that feeds you is gonna give you some knowledge about whether that's growing your business, whether that's AI books, whether that's whatever your mind is interested in. Go and read about it and learn about it. You know? So that we can have more discernment, more community building, and just eliminate the distractions. So how do we eliminate these distractions, guys? Because the distractions are no accident. The distractions are tools that is used on us so that we don't really stay grounded in our purpose. A distracted person doesn't really reflect. They don't really question things. They don't really remember anything. They're really silent about their life because they're distracted. Whether that's distracted at because you're working too hard. Sometimes you're distracted because you're working too hard for someone else's dream that you never had a chance to sit down and say, dang, what do I... Like, if I had my own time and money wasn't a thing, what would I be doing? I mean, not if you just want to be lazy and sit around and do nothing all day. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about if you really had your own time. Like, what would you create to give back to the world? What would you create? How would you, leave your mark here on the earth? What would you do? You know what I mean? Okay. So when you're distracted, you got too much going on, and sometimes you got to sit in silence. Silence is a powerful tool. That's why most people avoid silence. They want to be distracted. They got to stroll. They don't want to sit with themselves for just a second and just say, this feels good just to sit down for a second. You're working too hard. What does eliminating your distractions look like? What does that look like? It means saying no. No is one of the most powerful words you can ever use. See, that's the thing about wisdom. We learn these simple words. Sometimes it's the best words. Can you? No, I can't. You gotta be no. If you can and you want, great. But if you really can't, just learn how to say no without feeling bad about saying no. Some people just feel so. I feel so. No. It's a no. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just a no. Another thing is the way you can eliminate distractions is protecting your mornings. When you get up in the morning, this is a time where you don't need to be distracted by much. This is a time for you to, take a couple moments to meditate, breathe, maybe stretch, do some yoga. I don't know, take a hot shower, have you a little cup of coffee, or just sip some water, read. I don't know, whatever gets you in your zen. That's how you should start your day. Not with drama, not with negativity. If you notice, every morning you get up in a bad mood and it's someone putting you in that bad mood, it's time to reevaluate the situation. Because you're not finna ruin my damn day every day. Okay? So protect your morning at all costs. Something I did last year, and over this year, I can see the result of what I did last year was turning off all my notifications. The only notification I really have on my phone now, I don't even know if I have any notifications that come up. Because now if I do, I just turn them all off. I don't know. I was listening to something by maybe it was something on YouTube, Warren Buffett. I don't know. He was just he don't have no emails. He don't check no emails. And it just made me realize, dang, maybe I'm spending too much time with these notifications. And the notifications can be overwhelming. In the day of phones and apps, we got so many apps on these phones. They're not even phones no more. They're really like mini computers. But in the day of apps and notifications, turning your notifications off. I've had mine off for the whole year. And I can say I've been a lot more focused. I stroll less. I try to be more intentional about my time. I do have notifications on my social media apps that say, hey, you've been on for 15 minutes. And I might not, I might say ignore for the rest of the day a lot of the times. But, just having those things in place can help me save more time. And it can help us eliminate distractions. So turn your notifications off. You don't really need them. I promise you, they're distracting you. Like with my messenger, my text message, those notifications that I have on, my phone ringing, but all these apps trying to notify me to come in and spend my time, it's too much. It's giving y'all doing too much apps. Y'all doing too much. Let me pick what I want to do with my time and not be dictated by which one can notify me the most. It's too much. That's like the subscriptions. I'm getting away from anything that you want me to subscribe. No, thank you. Is there a way that I can't subscribe? Because if there is, I don't want any more like subscriptions, notifications. Next year is about peace, and generational knowledge and wisdom, and ultimately generational wealth, generational health. Not continuing to perpetuate generational curses. Okay? Another thing eliminating distraction looks like is being bored long enough to think. You know. How many of us know that when you kind of like bored long enough to think, like you might think of some great ideas when you bored. You thinking your best shit when you bored, honestly. That just lets us know that our next level, like, in order to focus, sometimes you need silence, not more noise, not more chaos. Okay? So I'm taking it one day at a time. You don't need to fix your whole life today. You don't need to think about everything before the new year. No, we're just taking it a day at a time. Every time I turn on the news, it's some drama with the president. It's some drama with everything. Like, it's just too much drama everywhere. This whole year been so drama-fied. I can't even lie. Just with the news, the president, they've been so drama-fied. Like, with everything. With the groceries, with the housing, with the everything just been so drama-fied where humanity is on a whole new level. Things are on a whole new level. So at this point in time, what can we do besides take it one day at a time? I'm telling you, just take it one day. Just one day at a time. That's what we doing. Right? You just need to show up today. We just got to show up every single day. Just one decision, one aligned decision. Just honor one boundary and just have one truth. So for me, you know, showing up, connecting with the tribe, going live every single day. It can be a little tough, but I push through because I'm trying to prove something. That you can do things even when they're tough. You can do things even when you want it and it's like not as easy as you thought it would be. Do you quit or do you say, damn, I didn't know it was going to be this hard, but I still ain't going to quit. I still have something to prove to myself, not to other people, to yourself, because you wanted it and this is your purpose. A lot of people aren't making decisions about what their purpose is. They just let life make them forget who they are, make them forget what they really want to do, because life be life and bills be coming and you just like, fuck my dreams, I got bills to pay. You're like, fuck them dreams, I don't know. Never give up on what you truly want, whether that's to travel, see the world, have peace, not have to go so hard. It's set up for us to go so hard right now. I saw a video earlier and the guy was like, how come the cost of living or the minimum wage haven't caught up with the cost of living? And it's like, that's easy. You know, we got a country that's built on oppressing people, and it rather oppress people than to be fair. It rather oppress people and lie about history than to, you know, really give universal health care or things that other countries have, free education, you know, less crime rate, less, you know, prison to pipeline type shit, less redlining, all this messiness that has went on in this country for centuries. You know, now it is showing the results, basically. So healing is not like a linear process. It's not like you're gonna heal straightforward. Growth isn't really aesthetic. So if you've been growing, it's not gonna be pretty. Evolution is messy, it's quiet, and it's deeply personal. So you gotta remember to take your time, settle into who you are, and give yourself grace. I didn't say excuses. I said give yourself some grace. I give myself so much grace now that it don't even make sense. I'm gonna have so much grace with me in the future that, yeah, I made that mistake. So what? Moving on. Let's go. Next challenge. Moving on. So we showing up for ourselves because nobody is coming to save you. And that's not sad. That's power. Every time you show up scared, tired, unsure, you're teaching your nervous system that you're safe with yourself. You safe with your decision. You trust yourself. That's manifestation. That's self-trust. That's true confidence. That is power. Because again, no one is coming to save us. You don't need applause to be proud. You just need to feel it in the spirit. And know that you are that deal. Because why, guys? Our ancestors put this greatness in our DNA. We got everything inside of us to go from hood to hood to break generational curses. We got everything we need. You have everything in your power to be creative. To not let life sun you. Get you so down where you worried about everything. It's going to work out. I promise you. You just got to keep focused. Okay? And not really give a fuck. Honestly. Okay. So that means you're going to choose peace over performance. Truth over approval. You know, it's a lot of truth going on around the world, around the planet. But you got to choose the truth over approval. So many people want approval that they can't see the truth because, you know, if I see the truth, then I'm not going to be in the in crowd. Who cares? I'd rather know the truth than to be on the in crowd because that's like if everybody walk off a bridge, are you going to walk off a bridge? You know, no. When you know better, you do better. We got to choose alignment over validation. Does this align with our spirit? Or are you trying to seek validation? No, we're not seeking validation. When you stop giving a fuck about being misunderstood, your life gonna get lighter. Cause who coming to save us? Nobody. Show up for yourself. So what if people misunderstand you? So you're not meant to be understood by everybody. It's 8 billion people on the earth. Half of them gonna not give a dang. The other half are gonna misunderstand you. So what? But you will find your tribe. But that ain't the focus. The focus is to pursue your purpose. Alright? So let people project. Let them guess. Let them have the wrong idea about you. It's okay. You ain't got to go 0 to 100 because we protecting our what? Our peace. And you will not disturb my peace. Let them stay confused. Let them stay mad because you know who you are. Period. That's it. That's all. Bada boom, bada bang. I see y'all tapping it out. Love loves me. Thank you for tapping those hearts. We got 17K hearts on TikTok. Y'all be showing out every night, tapping those hearts. I really appreciate the love. I really appreciate the engagement. You know, I love my TikTok tribe. Hands down. Love loves when you got the right name because you show a lot of love. A lot of love. Alright. So much love, I can't explain it. So much love, right? All right. So, as we wind down from our time for tonight, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that follow button. Grab your daily orange heart me right here. Dang, it's December the 28th already here. This time be flying, y'all. Where is it going? Where is it going? So as we wrap up for tonight, if you got any questions, drop it in the chat. But I just have this affirmation that I want us to say in the spirit because tonight it was about unapologetic growth. ancestral awareness, and no more pseudo mindset. Okay? So say this with me in the spirit and just feel it in the spirit before we close out. I evolve daily. I question fearlessly. I honor my ancestors. I protect my peace. I protect my peace. And I show up anyway. I'm not here to be palatable. I'm not here for that. I'm here to be aligned. I'm here to be aligned. And that alignment changes everything. Okay? So we're here to be aligned. I hope y'all got something positive from this live tonight. I definitely appreciate y'all just tapping the hearts. 17.9K. Listen, every day my goal on TikTok really is to just get 1K. But we be hitting 10K, 15K, 20K. Like, it's just crazy. So it just lets me know that y'all like what I'm putting down. You like the growth. Whether I bring a topic that's completely to the left, completely to the right, or dead in the middle, you know that I'm going to bring it the truth every time and challenge whatever we've been taught and just really, not be afraid to take it there. So we continuing to grow on the Hood to Hooded podcast. Every day we going up. We going into 2026. I'm learning so much more about myself, so much more about the world, just walking into the next season unapologetic. That's all I can say. I'm just going to go so hard next year and keep growing. I'm going into a whole new milestone next year, a whole new decade. It's going to be an entire new experience. This past decade that I went through, it's been kind of tough. Your 30s is a time for you to think that you know what you're doing. But life be like, I'm still going to teach you more and more and more. So I know as we go into the next phase of life, it's just going to teach us more and more and more. And we have to just be ready for it. Sometimes we gonna fall, sometimes we might crumble, sometimes we might cry, sometimes we might laugh, sometimes we might smile, but either way, we never give up on ourselves. We just stay aligned and know that it gets greater later. But if you give up, that will be impossible. If you throw in the towel, that will be impossible. If you don't strategize and plan for the future, at least in the smallest way, that will be impossible. So for this podcast, I will start to bring guests on because I want us to elevate and learn more about business, about entrepreneurship, about legacy for real. Because if we're trying to go from hood to hood, part of that is understanding legacy. And before I get off of here, I know I said I was going to get off of here, but I really want to say something real quick. I ran across a video this week talking about trust. And it was just saying how everyone should have a trust for their business and their personal because it prevents people from having probate and something else. And I was like, wow, that would be good to bring those type of topics, life insurance, trust, to the dialogue. Bring some experts because I'm a dentist. I'm not an expert. I mean, I went to school to get a doctoral degree in teeth, so I know teeth. I don't know legacy completely yet, but to bring that into this type of setting, I feel like it would be very, very helpful. Having trust, so you can have some trust and pass down your trust funds to your children, your family, and not just have it out in the open. And you don't know how life is gonna go. You don't have life insurance, these different type of things. So it's something that we just have to learn about and not ignore. It's more than just having a will. It's other tools that we can use to help us make sure that we're protected and protect our, future. So yeah, that just hit me. So I'm gonna bring more stuff like that next year. Just continue to go live. I think I'm gonna change my time. The 8 o'clock ain't working. That's the only thing I can't be consistent about. But I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. It is what it is. I'm not really a morning person. I tried it, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Hood to Hooded podcast. I see we don't have any questions, but we almost hit 20K hearts. Thank y'all. Thank you, Golden Goddess. Thank you to everyone who's been tapping it out. I really appreciate it. Almost 20K hearts. That's some true love, man. So yeah, I'm trying to elevate my set. Just really spice it up. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can do more. But the whole thing for me with the Hood to Hooded podcast, the first and only real requirement for this podcast, regardless if I show up dressed up, not dressed up, in a hoodie, in a whatever, it just all depends on my mood. When you go live every day, you can't be particular about, sometimes you gotta just show up. My only requirement for this was just to show up. Because I realized consistency is just about really just showing up. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. And some people just won't show up. And it seems hard. If you just make that one requirement for yourself where you say, you know what, my only requirement is to just show up. I might not show up the greatest. But if I show up, man, you already got one thing checked off the list. So I know that this whole time, this whole year, I went live more than half of the year, and it's just been an experience through the loss, through my entrepreneurship journey this year, just having this dental practice, which nearly almost took me out, literally. Like, it was a lot. It's been a lot. But I realized I was doing a lot wrong, and that's the thing about evolving and not quitting. You're gonna learn that, dang, I didn't do it right, but there's a better way now, so I don't feel so bad. And you have to go through those things. We have to grow through those things and stay aligned, right? So I'm going into this next phase, trying to bring more knowledge and just really just show up, honestly. But I just want to show up and give back. Now my thing is, I want to leave. When I leave and I become an ancestor, in the hopefully in the far near future, far future, when I become an ancestor, I just hope to leave the mindset that, like, you can overcome really anything. Like, even sadness, depression, loss, like self-doubt, all those things people are afraid to talk about, the things that people kind of hide, the things that people have anxiety about sharing. You can overcome all of these different things in life, and you can really be fearless. You can be so fearless, and that's my thing. 2026 is about, honestly, being fearless. I feel like I kind of lost my fearlessness a little bit when it comes to just, like, as you get older, it's like you become more serious. And I want to go back to having more just fun. I don't want to be too serious with life when it comes to that, but I want to just have more fun, be serious about the things that matter, the trust and legacy and generational wealth and real estate, land, American Indian history, understanding tribal knowledge, and just understanding history more. So just like growing, just like a sunflower. That's why Dr. Chief is sunflower. because we gotta always stay shining. All right. So I'm about to get off of here. And I will be back tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm talking about tomorrow, but y'all know that I'm gonna